Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed with Canadian Sky. Fly to the heart of the Canadian Rockies direct from Dublin to Calgary and experience spectacular scenery and vibrant cities. Discover Canada in 2024 with canadiansky.ie.
Well, we are absolutely thrilled to be in January of 2024 because we can start thinking about our holidays, and Ed, Finn and Sarah Slattery are back in studio today. Now, Ed, you might talk us through, first of all, where are we going to focus on today?
Well, in line with our new sponsor, Trina, we have a fabulous programme today all about Canada. Now, what's brilliant, of course, is when a direct flight opens up to anywhere, one of the great joys for any travel agent is accessibility. And we've a new flight direct from Dublin to Calgary with WestJet. And Calgary, of course, is at the foot of the Canadian Rockies. You're talking Banff, Jasper, Edmonton, all those amazing places.
Okay, now I take you've been here, Ed.
Yeah, I was there years ago, and I did a very quick trip. I did Whistler as well, which was a kind of a ski trip, but I didn't spend enough time here at all. It was a kind of a in and out. So I'm really going to go back again now this year with the new direct flight. Now,
Sarah, this new direct flight, tell me more about this.
Yeah, it's 5 times a week from Dublin, which is great. You know, a lot of the times, I suppose for years people always travel to Toronto, and that, you know, was always the east coast of Canada. So it just completely opens up the west coast. And I remember years ago when we did the California road trip, and I came back and I said, right, the next one we want to do is drive up west coast Canada all the way through, as all those places Ed said, Banff and Lake Louise, and see all these gorgeous places. And it's still on my bucket list. We were actually supposed to go just before COVID, so I can't wait to go. It just looks incredible. It's one of those unusual, it kind of seems to tick all boxes. It has all the adventure, it has the scenery, you've got the mountains, the lakes, you know, there's so much to see. I personally now, it's really right up there on my bucket list anyway.
Now, can you tell me, Sarah, actually what's the flight time? Whenever I'm going anywhere, I always want to know how long is it going to take me to get there?
It's 8 hours, Trina.
Okay, that's not the worst. 8 hours. So what would you do then, Ed, in terms of the type of holiday that you can do in Canada?
So you have 3 options, Trina, here, right? You have your escorted tours. You have what's called your sort of self-drive. You do everything yourself. Canada Sky will book your flights, your hotels, and you kind of go your own way. Or what I love is they have a third option, which is called your independent travel. And what you do there is you book everything. They book all your flights, your hotels, and then they book all your tours. So 2 o'clock, you're on your luxury tour to Lake Banff, whatever you're doing, Jasper, you're doing the ice fields, the Columbia ice fields. So it's all included. But if you don't like being in an escorted tour where you're with people the whole time on a bus.
Organised fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, but some people love that, right? And it's horses for courses. So that's a really nice option and I love it. And the flexibility is a huge thing, I suppose. They have a customer lounge here in Dublin. They have 12 staff that have been to all these places, Trina, as well, which is great. And the other thing that's nice is when you book one of these packages we're talking about, you know what you get? You get free access to the lounge in Dublin Airport.
Oh, now we're
talking.
So
you'll be going out about 8 in the morning like me, right? And I'll be stocking up. No, but seriously, it's a really nice touch, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's about 35 quid, I think, now or whatever. So, but you can go in, you can have a nice little drink, have a nice little lunch, relax, and it's a nice way to do it.
Yeah. And Sarah, you feel like your holiday has begun when you get something like that, don't you?
Absolutely. And I think it's just going somewhere completely different. There's so many unique, I don't know if a quick Google search and you'll see this glacier skywalk. It's incredible. There's so many sort of bucket list experiences along that route. The ice fields, you're right out in this ice explorer along the glacier, and then you can go out into the skywalk and get the most incredible views. Of course, you can go up as far as Vancouver. You can go whale watching. You can do whitewater rafting. You know, there's just so much kind of adventure. You have that sort of side of it, but you also then have the scenery if you just want to take in the lake views and the mountain views and stay in these gorgeous lodges and things, you know, right up in the mountains. Like, I don't know, for me anyway.
It sounds like something out of a movie, to be honest.
Yeah, it really, really does. And Lake Louise is this unique kind of emerald greeny turquoise kind of colour, and it comes from parts of the glacier that have fallen off into the actual lake. So it's completely unique. It's not like the colour you'll see anywhere else. Like when you Google it, it almost looks photoshopped. It doesn't look real, but that is actually the colour of it.
In terms of, in bucket list stuff, I suppose, Trina, as well, just to give people an idea, Alberta, which is, you're experiencing Alberta, the province there, which is beautiful. Now, for about €2,300, including your flights, you're talking about this independent tour. So you're doing the Alberta province. You start in Calgary, the stunning national parks of Banff, Jasper, and then you enjoy 2 nights, Trina, at the iconic Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. Now, this is something else. You know, Fairmont, the name, it's kind of exudes
Don't
luxury.
people have jumpers? with
Yeah.
that written? Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah. I know. And think about the Fairmont, the chateau. It's on the lake, and it's just like it's included in that package. It's a real kind of highlight, and it's amazing. And the transfers are all included in this as well. So, you know, you don't have to drive. And then the independent tour. So for 2,300, everything in 10 nights.
I love that.
It's a great value.
I love that because, you know, when you price your holiday, it ends up being so much more by the time you add on and even the hassle of trying to organise it and find who does the transfers.
Yeah.
To have it all done for you.
Yeah.
That's my kind of holiday, to be honest.
Absolutely. And I mean, when you think about it, you turn up, you know, you do your kayak, you do your trip on the lake, you know, you do all your sightseeing tours. Calgary is great. There's a famous little thing I wanted to mention too called Les Caesar. When you're there, you have to try this. We know Bloody Marys. It's called the Caesar, right? And it is a mix of clam juice and tomato juice. Now, I know it doesn't sound great.
Absolutely disgusting.
There was this fella who actually tried it one day by accident.
And he died that day.
They use Trina. They use clamato juice. Okay, so and apparently it's fabulous. So you have to try it when you're there.
It's so early in the morning. What are you doing?
The Caesar. So if you've had a good old go in the lounge, you could try the Caesar when you get there. But anyway, it's just one. It's a bit of fun and one to mention. But again, as Sarah was saying there, you know, those places that people would tell you, the Columbia ice fields, Lake Louise, Banff, Jasper, these are places that I suppose when you look at the pictures, you go, wow. But when I was talking to people who did this last year, like they're doing it again because they said they wanted to go back because it was just so wow
There's
factor.
so much to see.
Yeah.
Would this be a type of holiday for couples or for what age group? What would you say?
I think, to be honest with you could bring it, you know, it'd be for suit everybody. I mean, certainly when I was looking to do it, we were going to bring the kids. Now, I'd say is obviously if you're doing a road trip, you know, you want the kids to be of a certain age. But like there's loads of adventure things and loads for kids. There's a big dinosaur, the world's most extensive dinosaur displays in this area. There's also a kind of a cowgirl type outdoor show that's on every July. It's a huge, big extravaganza. There's a lot of that for kids, or for families, I should say, that would kind of suit everyone. So there's lots of different experience you can do. Of course, you can do all the water sports, the kayaking, and things like that on the lakes as well. So yeah, it's kind of a nice kind of wholesome family trip. If you want the kind of outdoorsy sort of family experience, I would say absolutely. But of course, it's perfect for couples as well. Another one of the things that I like, and I suppose, the variety, you know. And I liked what Ed was saying about the independent travel. So you can either have your tours, you can do your road trip, or you can do a hybrid. But like, there's loads of little add-ons you can do. There's a Harley Davidson sidecar motorcycle tour.
Oh, that'd be so good.
And like, it's €110 for an hour. Like, I just think that's great value. So you could I remember doing the Vespa tour in Rome, and it kind of just brought that back. It's one of those unique experiences you could do around there. You can do an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. There's lots of different things you can add on. And I'm sure, as I said, if you want to bring families, kids, there's loads of activities for them as well.
And for the winter now, I mean, as well, if you wanted to do it, I mean, they do lovely packages as well, Trina. From January to April, we'll say, right? You can do the whole winter thing. Now, snowshoe hiking is fabulous. You know, you put on your carbon snowshoes. They're not like the old tennis rackets you see years ago. And it's one of the healthiest things you can do. I don't really ski much anymore due to a certain few accidents I had,
Didn't
right?
you have a bad injury?
I have a 9-inch pin in the right leg, Trina. Won't go into that.
God. I'd hate to be stuck behind you in the queue in the airport.
No, it's
security.
surgical steel. I don't beep at all. It's fine. You can do sleigh rides to the beautiful countryside there. You can do steamy outdoor pools at the Banff Hot Springs, which is really, really super.
Yeah.
And again, the Rockies are your backdrop there. Again, as Sarah said, you can do a walk to the icy Johnson Canyon, and they've ice pillars and frozen waterfalls where the water's frozen. That's really cool. But, you know, the winter landscapes, and you get the snowshoe hiking. And you can also do a helicopter flight seeing tour. That's another little word I love as well.
Ooh.
Flight seeing tour of the majestic Rockies as well, which is included. Now that's $18.90 for 7 nights. So again, bucket list stuff if you want a winter package, because in summer and winter you've totally different landscapes in Canada, of course. So they do a great package there as well.
And you know, there are many people listening here who might have a big birthday coming up. It could be the 50th birthday or something, and they would just want to do something a little bit different and something special, not just your usual kind of off to Spain or whatever. What an amazing trip that could be.
Yeah, and you could celebrate it having a little Caesar when you're over there.
Yeah.
you can start it off to get you going.
The other thing you could do as well is you can add on the Rocky Mountaineer, the train. Like it's probably, is it one of the best train rides in the world?
They're actually over for Holiday World coming up. We're going to be talking about it next week. We'll be on to you with the lovely Alaska cruise, Trina, and Vancouver. Again, because the Rocky Mountaineer, as you were saying, it's like a glass train.
Yeah.
You just get the panorama from your seat. The seats kind of move around as well, so it's incredible.
Like, so if you had one of those big birthdays, as you said, coming up, that's another thing you can add on to a trip like that. And I suppose also just following on from what Ed was saying about the winter, like Lapland is so big now. I mean, with those flights, Ryanair flights in the winter time, but like the prices of it, as well. So like you can actually do so many of those husky rides and dog sleds and all those experiences over there as well. So that's just something else to keep in mind.
Okay, now where can we get all the details on this?
So if you go to canadiansky.ie, Trina, everything is on there. I was saying to you earlier, like WestJet will be the direct flight that will be starting in May. But before that, of course, there's connecting flights as well that they arrange. So yeah, canadiansky.ie, everything is on there.
Super, thanks guys.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Trina.
Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed with Canadian Sky. Fly to the heart of the Canadian Rockies, direct from Dublin to Calgary, and experience spectacular scenery and vibrant cities. Discover Canada in 2024 with canadiansky.ie.